Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I am sharing some tips that help me as a busy mom of multiple kids, a working mom, a homeschooling mom, that really help me just kind of hold it together most of the time. If you're new to my channel, my name's Ashlee. I have 3 kids. I have a 5th grader, 3rd grader, and pre-care, and I homeschool all 3 of my kids while also working full-time from home. I've been sharing our journey on YouTube for almost 2 years. I have tons of videos, so if you're interested in my content, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you hit that subscribe button. So I think most moms are busy. I don't think it matters if you have a job out of the home, a work from home job, a side hustle, if you're just a mom, if you have 1 kid, if you have multiple kids. I think just in general, moms are busy. I think homeschooling moms have an extra layer that they add onto their plate. I saw a meme or like image, if I can find it I'll put it up here, but it was basically like, you know, the government will take your kids all day, free childcare, they'll pick them up, they'll drop them off, you get free 8 hours, and homeschool moms are like, no thanks, I'll handle it. And so when you think of it in that way, there is a very large difference from having your kids be sent to a school all day and you having that free time to get caught up on stuff, to do stuff for yourself. When you choose to homeschool and you choose to keep home, not that they're always home, but there is a lot more time that they need you for, or that you are not free to do other things. So I have a couple different things to kind of help, you know, free up some time, just some little tips that I use to make my life a little bit easier. Now, these aren't going to work for everyone, but hopefully there's something that you're going to gain from this today. So the first thing that has really helped me as far as kind of like taking stuff off my mental load, not getting burnt out, is having things pre-planned out for me. So like our homeschool week. Last year I was doing a paper planner, but I would plan 1 week out at a time. And so I would spend like an hour on like a Sunday planning everything. And that really helped because I didn't have to think of that the rest of the week. Now I use an online planner, and I do check it once a week to keep it updated, but I bought like additional lesson plans, so really it plans everything out for me. That saves me so much time and like mental like capacity that I don't have to think about. I even use it for things like our sports activities, co-op events, birthday parties, like whatever we need, like I need to mentally be remembering, I put on that planner. Now you can do this on your phone. I don't know why, but I've just never been one of those people that use their phone calendar for reminders. I won't do it. So I like the homeschool planner that I use. I'll link a video about it in the link down below. But that is my like living life calendar. So all activities, things I put on there, and I do it once a week, or maybe like it depends, like sometimes once a month I'll log into like our co-op calendar. I'll go through like birthday RSVPs and I'll just put it all on there, and really helps me like not forgetting things in that planner. Then I kind of have a daily plan. So if you've seen my homeschool day in the life videos, I have a checklist. This is what we need to get done today. Again, that's not taking up space mentally for me. I already planned it out, so I can really just go sit down and get started. Another thing, like when starting your homeschool day, is having like everything pretty accessible that you need. My kids, I've seen parents like put out like all their curriculum books and stuff like on their kids' desks. I just have baskets, so each of my kid has like a basket with like all their curriculum in it, and I just kind of tell them like, hey, today we're doing math, science, and history, and then they just know like what they need and they just bring it to the table, and then we kind of just that. If you're doing any curriculum that requires like crafts, activities, cooking, I try to be aware of that, so like I'll peek ahead at like some of the lessons for them. But there are times where it's like, you know, our science lesson wanted us to make these crystal things, and you know, that just wasn't going to work in that day and that week of our homeschool. we think we had like family in town. I just was like not feeling in that kind of like mood. So it's okay to like not do everything or like hold it till a later day. So we're gonna do this activity, but we're just not gonna do it right now. And so being gracious with yourself that you don't have to do it all right now, and really raising your kids to like understand like you don't always have to do everything. Some things can wait, and having kids be a little patient and respectful in that. You know, not everything needs to be immediately and now and like why. And so I think that's something I see a lot with moms, is like they don't want to tell their kids no, and I'm like the opposite of that. It's not that I'm trying to mean and I don't want to do anything with my kids, but I know mentally I get overwhelmed, I will burn out. And so saying no, even though it's not fun, sometimes my kids don't like when I say no, and it turns into kind of a negative situation. It just is what it is. So kind of having those boundaries and like being prepared, like, is this going to be a heavy activity week? Do I have the time for this? Do I have the mental capacity for this? Or if it's like not a good week, then we're gonna do these next week, and just staying firm with that and moving on to the next thing. The next thing is being flexible, and that's kind of a good segue. Like I said, like just because your planner says you have to do this activity today, be flexible, be gracious on yourself. Or, you know, it doesn't even have to be you. Sometimes your kids are having a bad day. Sometimes they're sick and not feeling well, or sometimes their attitude is not contributing to like a good day. So as much as I think us as moms need like a mental health day, or like I'm just not in the mood for this, pay attention, because your kids have those same feelings. Something very important to me in my homeschool, I don't expect my kids to like jump for joy and like want to do long division and just love their math, but I don't want them to be negative either. Like, they know they need to get school done. So if there's a day where they're being very negative and I can just tell like something is off, and like they are not laughing at my corny jokes, like they don't want to do any activities, today's not the right day for that. Like, if we can maybe do something else, maybe we just need to go on a walk outside. Maybe we need to go swimming. Maybe we just need to like do something together that's like not school related. Being flexible for your kids and for yourself, I think, is also very important, especially like when you're in a busy season of your life. Kids don't express it as adults do, like when they feel burnt out. So you need to understand if maybe something different is going on. My next tip for a busy homeschooling mom is use some online resources, use some help. Don't try to do it all on your own. And this can be things like online teaching lessons. So we use curriculum like Saxon Math, which has multiple online lesson options, the Math Lady. And what that means is my kids are being taught math solely from this video lesson from Nicole, the Math Lady, and I'm really only there to support. Now, I don't want to just be completely cut out from their learning, but I also need to accept that I can't do it all. I don't have the time, I don't have the patience most of the time, and I don't think I'm qualified to be teaching higher level math. I will just be very honest. Could I? Yes. There are curriculums that you could read the lesson step by step and it could help teach it, but I have found great resources that I don't do that. And so outsource some of these things. That takes that off. You can either use that time to work with another child, to work your job, to get caught up on laundry, or to read your favorite book, to go take a nap, whatever you need to do to like mentally just like be a better mom that day, use that time. Or if you want to sit there with them and watch them do the lesson, you just need that extra support, then do that too. There's like no right or wrong answer, but don't be afraid to those outside supports. I think people that come from public school get so nervous if they aren't the one teaching everything. And so we need to really rely, not always, but be accepting of people who choose to use online teacher type lessons in their homeschool. Another tip is just kind of finding like your support system, your community, and this can be a couple different things. You know, this can be family, this can be your spouse. So is your spouse able to help? You know, there are a lot of homeschool families where the husband, the dad, is working and out of the home, and maybe he's working multiple jobs, and so he may not be the right person to support in this way. Is there a grandparent? Is there a sibling? Is there an aunt, uncle, like whoever maybe in your family that can help? Are there schedule adjustments that one of you can make? You know, can dad work a different shift to help? Can he take just maybe one day off a month to like give you that time? Is there a grandparent that, you know, maybe they take the kids on the weekends? And this is a perfect example of our situation. So we have my mother-in-law, who is like the most supportive in our lives, in our homeschool, and she used to take our kids one day on the weekend, and I really used to enjoy that because I would get everything done on that day. It would be a nice day. My husband and I could, you know, if we both had the day off, could do things together. But once I started homeschooling and worked home, it actually helped a lot more if she took the kids one day during for me. I wanted that weekend day with them because I was off work, my husband was off work, so I wanted them to be home. But during the week, I kind of got a better use out of it. So if you have a family member that maybe babysits for you on the weekend or date nights, maybe kind of switch that around. Is there somewhere better they could work in that way? If you don't have family as an option, or your family is limited in what they can do, then, you know, look for a homeschool community, a co-op, find a homeschool friend and kind of swap days. Like, hey, your kids can come over for a couple hours. I will teach them this lesson, I'll make snacks, they're gonna be fine, and then flip-flop the next week. They take your kids, you know, and kind of do stuff like that. Or go to the park with all of your kids, and you and that, you know, mom or whoever can kind of just vent and, you know, relax while the kids are burning off energy. So really like use community and other, you can't do it by yourself. I mean, you can, but it's gonna be a lot easier if you get some sort of like village or like companion to help you in that journey. Another really important thing, and this is really hard for like busy moms, is some sort of self-care. Now, this was something that was at like the bottom of my list if you would have talked to me a year or two ago. My self-care, my hobbies, my time was always on the back burner compared to my kids and whatever was needed for my family. And that's a really like hard thing for a lot of moms to switch, because like I felt selfish. I felt like I wasn't a good mom if I wasn't like doing every living hour of my day like breathing around my kids. But ultimately what I learned is I wasn't being the best mom when I wasn't like taking care of myself. So, you know, simple things like if you like working out, and if working out and exercising makes you feel good, it doesn't have to be hours every day. Like I can't go to the gym. Driving to a gym, you know, taking a class or whatever and coming home, that much time away, I would not feel good about that. So I decided to get like workout equipment at home or do like videos at home, because then I feel better. Like I'm gonna be, you know, working out for 30 minutes, for 45 minutes, that's what's happening. And so, you know, you don't have to be like all in a hobby. You can kind of like do baby steps. So like physically working out, taking walks, sitting in your car, talking to your friend, sitting in your car, listening to music, like just to get some time away. If you enjoy reading, you know, that really helps me too. Like I really enjoy reading. And so I audiobooks, because then I can reading while I'm doing things like laundry or dishes, meals, or working out. And so I kind of like was able to find something that like I enjoy, but then I can do that thing while I'm taking care of, you know, chores and stuff around the house. So don't feel bad doing something for yourself. I think that's a little bit easier as your kids get older too. You have to understand, I am like, I think the term is called a middle mom. I don't have babies anymore. My youngest is out of his toddler phase actually. My oldest is going into teen years. And so I am learning how to be a mom where your kids don't rely on you in like that baby toddler way as much, and they need you in a different way. A lot of, you know, time when they're babies, changing diapers, making bottles, napping, you know, that doesn't exist in our world anymore. And that was our world for, you know, 10 years. You know, we have 3 kids pretty close together. And so going into this new area, our lives are busier in a different way. We are now busier with social things. All 3 of my kids have their own social circles, we'll say, and there's birthday parties and there are sports. And so a lot of my time is spent being a cab driver between all of these activities and like trying to support all of these activities. And that's a lot. And so, you know, all I can say for that is we've gone through seasons of like sports and activities where we only allow one kid at a time to be in an activity. So like one kid can do baseball for a season, and then the next season another kid can choose an activity. That does get hard as I think they get older. And so this year we were able to sign all three of them up for activities. And that means 3 times a week we are going to these activities, and it's just, you know, something that we're kind of dealing with. I talked about that like in one of my update videos. Is like every single day we are committed to something, and we just haven't been that type of family where we're not like a sports family, and so we are adjusting to it. But my kids are doing it. Will we keep doing this forever? I don't know. We might go back to where only 1 or 2 kids is an activity, but don't like burn yourself out on that either. Like when my kids were like really little, it was very different, like all the activities. I mean, now that they're older, it's like a little bit different. Like my oldest daughter, one of her volleyball practice is on one of the same days and times as my son's karate practice. And so, you know, she just goes. Like she just goes to her volleyball practice and like just handles it. And so like I stay with my son, younger, in his karate class. And so that's what I kind of mean as like this middle mom where your kids don't need you as much, but you kind of have to adjust what's going. My last tip for busy moms is I talked about outsourcing like homeschool stuff and like teaching, but I want to talk about like outsourcing like mom responsibility. Things like grocery shopping. I will be honest, I have maybe stepped foot into like a couple grocery stores, mainly Trader Joe's, because Trader Joe's does no sort of online ordering or curbside pickup. But other than that, I don't go to the grocery store. One, I just hate grocery stores. I get too overwhelmed in them. But also, I save time. You know, if my kids are finishing up a lesson or I'm sitting waiting for them at karate or volleyball or gymnastics, I can grocery shop. I use, you know, whatever grocery store apps to do curbside. I use Instacart and have it delivered, and like I have been using those well before COVID and it was a thing. Like that has always been like a huge time saver for me. You know, when I worked out of the home, I would schedule groceries to where when I'm coming home from work, I pick them up. There's our groceries. I still do that same thing now. You know, after karate practice, we're gonna swing by and pick up our groceries, and that saves me tons of time, like not physically going and grocery shopping, because we have to get groceries at least twice a week with the size of family we have and how my kids go food twice a week. So I feel like I save a lot of time online shopping using curbside. I have in the past used like a house cleaner, and I haven't done it in so long just because we have new dogs and they're just like not super stranger friendly, so it'd be like more of a hassle to like deal with the dogs in like stranger house. So I actually haven't done that in over a year, but I used to do that a lot when I worked out of the home, was have a house cleaning company come like once every 6 weeks and they would just clean everything. I don't have time to like scrub baseboards and blinds, and you know, there's 4 bathrooms in my house, and I have a young son who decides that he needs to be disgusting all the time. So like I would, if I were to clean my house, like I think how you're expecting your house, I would only be cleaning my house. So what I do, since I haven't had house cleaners, is I do a little bit like every day. Like and my kids do a ton of chores. My kids do so many chores. I need to do a whole video like on all the chores they do, because without them helping with chores, I would be overwhelmed. So if your kids are not doing chores, I highly recommend them chores. It does not hurt anyone. It's help you and it will help them. Sure. But besides that, there are times where the house needs a complete deep clean, and hire a cleaning service. I don't think it's as expensive as you think, and they get everything done in like half a day and your house. So also, besides like, that's my last thing, is just like outsourcing some of the stuff you do. And maybe, you know, financially that's like not always like the most you know, feasible thing, but like the house cleaning thing, ask that for your birthday present, or you know, Mother's Day or Christmas. You know, like that can be like a really special treat. I don't think you need a maid to come to your house. I feel like that's just a little overkill, but you know, every few months have like a really good deep cleaning. It will make you feel good. It will take like a weight off your shoulders. So stuff I kind of had the theme in all of this is, you know, be patient with yourself, be patient with your kids, ask for help from kids, your spouse, your family, your community, like whatever you need. And you can't do it all. Do not burn yourself out because that's not healthy for anyone. Try to enjoy. We all, you know, hear the saying that days are long but years are short, and that's really true. So try to get as much enjoyment out of the long days as you can. They're not always going to be perfect. You're going to be busy, but try to, you know, hopefully these tips can help in some sort of way, taking some of that pressure off and dealing with a busy life. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. We will talk soon. Bye guys.